There's my comments. Jesus, 2 hours ago with Shara. That was a nightmare. What's up, Brenda? Man, I really want to do a live on this because this is just fucked up. It's just super fucked up. This has to be one of the worst police killings I've seen. Like, I think it's up there with Daniel Schaefer. Where was he? He was in Arizona, and he's who like crawled on the floor begging for his life, and he was still shot with an assault rifle. I think that's one of the most disturbing, if not the most disturbing police killing videos out there. This one's up there though, man. This one is really fucking up there. We might as well just get into this because I don't plan on making this one of the normal long ones. I'm just going to kind of run through what's out there, then get back to some other shit. Man. Like, this is literally why people have issues with the police. Like, right here. Yeah, I'm not even really going to say much about it. I'm just going to let the video speak for itself. And we're just going to play this for anybody that hasn't seen it. I do warn anybody watching, this has graphic content. So this whole stream in general may not be appropriate for all audiences. You may not want to watch this stream. So there's a warning. I think there's more graphic content out there, but if you think about everything involved in this, then, you know. Garner, and I can't breathe. When an officer heard those words alone, that would have been enough to make this stop. This also goes on for 10 minutes with witness. I mean, this video, like I said, I think the Daniel Schaefer video is still worse, especially graphic-wise. Just something about how they made him cry and beg for his life before shooting him. That one I still think is worse. This is, I mean, it's right below. This is literally one of the worst police killings I've ever seen.
Shit.
Hey, y'all opportunity to get in, bro. I told you can't win.
My knee.
You can't
My neck.
win, man.
I'm through.
I know you're a nigga, you didn't listen. Bro, with your feet on his neck, man, you get off the
His nose is bleeding. Like,
yeah,
come on now.
That's raw right there with his feet on his neck.
Look at his nose.
You just see your knee on his neck.
Yeah, he got your feet right on his neck, officer.
Just to make sure that you heard that, his nose has started bleeding at this point. There's literally witnesses, and I'll go through everything that's out right after this point. Like this part, I figure that it is important to see this. It's important to know how far these officers went exactly. This is why Minneapolis is being torn the fuck apart right now. I mean, there are no fucking words for this kind of shit.
He ain't even resisting arrest.
I cannot breathe.
You just a grown, you're a tough guy. You're a tough guy, huh? I say you're a tough guy. You're not even resisting arrest, bro.
His whole nose is bleeding.
Fought with him.
Bro, but why you just sitting there? He ain't doing nothing now. Put him in the car.
Kill me.
How long y'all gotta hold him down?
This is why you don't do drugs, kids.
It ain't about drugs, bro. Y'all understand that?
We're so far 2.5 minutes into Derek. Was it Officer Derek Chauvin, who he and the 4 officers involved, because that's something I want to show you real quick. 4 officers were involved. I completely forgot to preload this before, but this won't take but a second. Let me pull up another perspective for you guys real quick. Because you see 2 officers. You see Officer Tao here and Officer Chauvin. And that's not the full story. Again, sorry, I should have pulled this up beforehand. But we're almost there. Please stay. There we are. This is what's actually going on in this picture. Not only has Derek Chauvin had his neck on George Floyd's neck at this point for 2.5 minutes, and he's in handcuffs, which I'll show that video too. That video, Haley, not on this live. Normally I'm entertaining of doing whatever in the lives, but not on this one. So at this point, you have 2.5 minutes that Officer Derek Chauvin has been holding his neck on George Floyd's neck. This is what was really going on. And there's video that shows he was in handcuffs, like basically from the get-go that we'll get to. But in reality, George Floyd right now is in handcuffs with an officer on his legs, an officer on his back, and then Derek Chauvin digging his neck, or digging his knee into the back of his neck. That is how much of a threat George Floyd was not at that point. He was subdued. There's no question of that. This video angers and really does show a fucked up side of it, but again, it's not the full story. It focuses on these 2 officers, and that's kind of all you think that is going on, but in reality, George Floyd's being held down by 3 officers. And that's Derek right there, that's Tao, and those are the people recording. I'm telling you, it's not often that I don't even know how to sum something like this up. I've seen so much of this shit, and like I don't even know.
Y'all don't gotta put y'all right.
He is human, bro.
His nose is
But I'm saying you
bleeding.
can put him in the car. That's a
We
bum
tried
ass
that
shit.
for 10 minutes.
That's a bum ass shit, bro. That's some bum ass shit, bro. Y'all know that is. You don't gotta sit there with your knee on his neck, bro.
He's talking, he's fine.
Bro, he ain't fine, bro.
Alright, we're done.
You circle like in a jiu-jitsu move, bro. You trapped in his breathing right there, bro.
Okay.
Like, you don't think that what it is, bro? You don't think nobody understands that shit right there, bro? I trained at the academy, bro. That's some bullshit, bro. Right, that's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit, bro.
They're literally arguing over if he should continue cutting off his fucking breathing.
You fucking stopping his breathing right there, bro.
Okay, he's talking.
He's talking. Bro, but you could get him off the ground. You've been a bum right now. You could get him off the ground, bro. You could get him off the ground. You've been a bum right now. He enjoying that. He enjoying that shit. He enjoying that shit. He a fucking bum, bro. He enjoying that shit right now, bro. You could have fucking put him in the car by now, bro. He's not resisting arrest or nothing. You enjoying it. Look at you. Your body language explains it. You fucking bum.
Bro, get the fuck off of him.
It's the whites. They love
But
doing that to the
no, I
black
already know that, bro. I trained with half of these bum ass dudes at the academy, bro. You know that's bogus right now, bro. You know it's bogus. You can't even look at me like a man because you a bum, bro. He's not even resisting arrest right now, bro.
His nose is bleeding.
You fucking stopping his breathing right now, bro. You think that's cool? You think that's cool
really
though,
not.
right? What's your what's your badge number, bro?
Derek Chauvin has now had his knee in George Floyd's neck for 4 minutes. Solid. And that's just from this video. We don't know how long he was on him before that.
You think that's cool right now, bro?
You'll call police on another police.
You think that's cool though, bro? You're a bum, bro. You're a bum for that. You're a bum for that, bro. You getting
And also we're at like 4 minutes when George Floyd stops responding.
mad. You just sitting there stopping his breathing right
Look
now.
at
The
him.
dude about to go out right now, bro.
Look at
Bro.
him.
So you
Get
gonna-
off of him
you
now.
gonna
What is
choke him?
wrong
You gonna
with
choke him
y'all?
like that?
What the fuck? He got mace. He got mace. He cannot breathe. Get over here. No, first of all.
Bro, look, well, you can check on him. He's not responsive right now.
Police officers are literally stopping witnesses from trying to save this man's life. We are now just under 5 minutes that Derek Chauvin has been digging his knee into George Floyd's neck while he was restrained by 3 other officers.
He's not
Look at
responsive
him.
right now.
Get off the street.
He's not responsive right now.
You wouldn't know.
He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now, bro.
Does he have a pulse?
No, bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro.
Check for a pulse.
Bro, are you serious? You gonna just let him sit there with that on
Let
his
me
neck,
see a
bro?
pulse.
Is he breathing right now? Check his
Hold on, I want
pulse.
to have this conversation.
Check his pulse.
Okay.
Check his pulse, Tal.
I'm
Tal,
telling you
check
right
his
now,
pulse.
check his pulse.
Tal, check his pulse,
Look
bro.
at this dude.
We gotta
Bro,
get
check
messed
his
up.
pulse, bro. You
He
bogus,
just
bro.
laying
Don't do
You
drugs,
bogus.
guys.
Don't do drugs, bro. What is that? What do you think that is? You call what he doing okay?
Get back
You
on the
call what
street.
he doing okay? You call what you doing? You call what he doing
Are
okay,
you
bro?
really a firefighter?
Yes,
Bro.
I am from Minneapolis.
Okay.
Bro, you
Get off the sidewalk.
you think that's okay? Check his pulse.
Check his right
Tal,
pulse
check his
now.
pulse.
Get back on the
Check.
sidewalk.
The man ain't moved yet, bro. The man ain't moved yet, bro.
Okay. Where?
Minneapolis.
Okay.
Bro, you're a bum, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're
Check his
definitely
pulse
a
right
bum,
now. Tell me
bro.
what it is. Tell me what his pulse is right now.
Check
I swear
the
to God.
pulse. Bro, he has not moved not one time,
He's
bro.
off. He's off crack right now. He's
But bro, go back in the store, bro. You don't understand.
No,
bro.
I'm the reason.
Okay, that's cool.
Derek Chauvin has now had his knee in George Floyd's neck for 6 minutes, and George Floyd has been unresponsive for around 2 minutes.
Go back in the store, bro. Go back in the store, bro. He's not fucking
I see
moving.
that. I see that,
Bro,
I'm trying to help y'all out.
Bro, you don't need to help me out, bro. I know your parents. I know everybody that owns the store. You don't need to help me the fuck out, bro. He's not fucking moving right now, bro.
I just saw that, man.
Bro, he was just moving when I walked up here.
And I know. And then that
Bro,
they did that to
you
him.
just
They did
got
that
out.
to
You
him.
just got back out here, bro.
I've been watching it the
bro,
whole time
you
through
just
the
got
camera.
back out here, bro.
You guys right now.
Bro, he doesn't have it, bro. He's not fucking moving,
No, did they fucking kill him, bro?
bro.
They
Bro,
just killed him
what
or
is you,
something.
1087, bro? You're a
Oh
bum,
my
bro. Or
God,
987, bro. You're a bum.
was just
First thing you
alive.
want to grab is your mace because you scared, bro. Scared of fucking minorities. You're fucking bum, bro.
3 minutes. Fuck off him.
Like,
What you doing?
bro, 3 minutes, bro. He's not fucking moving.
I died. Bro, oh my God. He's not
Bro, he's not even fucking moving. Get off of his fucking neck, bro.
like,
Get off of his neck.
still on him, bro.
Yes, look at that,
Back on the
bro.
street.
Are you serious?
Nobody's
Bro, are you
For 7 minutes, Derek Chauvin has had his knee in George Floyd's neck. George Floyd at this point has not moved in roughly 3 minutes. And to remind you once again, this is what's actually going on. There's 2 other officers restraining George Floyd, who's handcuffed at his feet and at his back. Yet Derek Chauvin has had his knee in George Floyd's neck for 7 solid minutes at least, and George Floyd hasn't moved in 3 minutes. I mean, that's why even in this title, this is fucking murder. Straight up, this is a fucking murder that we're watching. And it's literally being protected by an officer of the law. Like, this is super fucked up.
You serious? And you gonna keep your thing on your neck? Yeah, I bet you. Bro,
Hey, don't fucking touch him.
bro, I barely touch me like that, dude. I swear I'll slap the fuck out of both of y'all.
I didn't want to call the ambulance.
Bro, he's just gonna let him keep his hand on his neck, bro? You're a bitch, bro. Tao, you gonna let him keep that like that? You gonna let him kill that man in front of you, bro? Huh?
Like what?
Bro, he's not even fucking moving right now, bro. He's not even fucking moving.
This is what it is. We gotta deal with this shit.
Bro.
The shitty thing is if anybody would have touched one of those cops, they would have been shot or fucking arrested and charged for assaulting an officer for trying to save that man's life.
Not gonna help us, bro.
Right, he black. They don't care.
987, you're
If it
wrong,
ain't they
bro.
people, they don't care, bro.
You gonna just sit there with your knee on his neck, bro? You a real man for that, bro. He ain't handcuffed,
Look at him.
bro.
Just
You a
sitting there.
real man, bro.
I'm
You a real man, bro.
first
I train
responder
with
for
these
Minneapolis.
dumbass
The fact that you guys aren't checking his pulse and doing compressions if he needs that.
7 minutes and 56 seconds is how long Derek Chauvin kept his knee on George Floyd's neck. Fucking almost 8 minutes. Probably over 8 minutes because this video starts with him already on George Floyd.
You guys are on
Oh
another
my
level.
God, bro.
And then he just gonna
Okay.
pull him
They
up
just
there like
dragging
that,
him
bro.
like, come
Yeah,
on
and
now.
I have your name tag, bitch.
That's not very professional.
It don't matter. So what? Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, fuck. Don't touch him.
Don't touch
I got this all on camera. Watch out.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch
You touched him. You went to him. So shut up. You went to him. Y'all always trying to start
Bro,
something.
don't ever touch me, bro.
I ain't said a word, haven't I? Thank.
Like, you bogus, bro. You damn near dead, bro. He's fucking dead, bro.
I appreciate you. You're wrong now, bro. You're wrong now, bro.
They both get shredded.
They just killed
How
him.
you know that, bro?
You should go to jail.
You're not.
Tao, you know that's broken.
What's that badge
bro.
number?
You know that's broken.
You're wrong how
Tao.
you coming at people.
Oh,
Tao,
okay.
you know that's
You're wrong
bogus,
how you
right,
coming at
bro?
people.
Oh, okay.
You're wrong.
In that thing.
Man, bro. He's such a man, bro. That shit crazy, bro.
Him
You could at
too.
least lifted him up off the ground, bro. We wouldn't even have tripped, bro. Yeah, 987, you just killed that nigga, bro. You just
Y'all
killed
just
him,
really
bro.
just killed that man.
You just really killed that man, bro.
And if he not dead, he
really
close
killed
to
that
death.
man,
That's
bro.
crazy.
You just really killed that man, bro. Bro, you just killed that man, bro.
This the number of the
987,
police
bro.
car. All of that.
Bro. Dang, bro, you bogus. You know that, bro. You know you bogus. That's why you can't even look like a man, bro. That's why you can't speak right now.
You guys want some of the car?
Say again?
You guys want something
That
for
shit
that car?
bogus, bro. You such a man. You about to have dreams at night, bro. You gonna fuck around and shoot yourself. That's what you gonna do.
That motherfucker literally just killed a man.
He's actually not. He's stopping his breathing.
You just stop pretty much. You stopped the whole man breathing. Just killed him outside, bro.
And y'all walking away and not doing that.
I just said you can get the word out of me. I know you resist.
Left you up.
It's a 10-minute video, 10-minute and 9-second video. Again, like, I just can't fucking stress enough this. That fucking 8 minutes, this officer had his knee on that neck, at least, with 2 other officers restraining the handcuffed man, and then an officer pushing witnesses away from trying to do anything. So I saw somebody asked why were they there, and I told you we're going to go over everything that is out as of right now. So first thing first, we'll hop over to the police statement. This was the original police statement that came out, and it is already being shown to be bullshit, pretty much. And this is common. I mean, these heavy police abuse situations, you're ignorant. You're 100% ignorant if you don't believe that there are many times that the officers straight up lie and put out a different narrative of what happened. It happens. It happens more than a lot of people want to believe. So, according to the Minneapolis Police Department, man dies after medical incident during police interaction. May 25th, 2020, on Monday evening, shortly after 8 p.m., officers from the Minneapolis Police Department responded to the 3700 block of Chicago Avenue South on a report of a forgery in progress. Officers were advised that the suspect was sitting on top of a blue car and appeared to be under the influence. So, right there, no, it wasn't a call for any sort of violence. It wasn't a call gun. It wasn't anything that would warrant a violent response. 2 officers arrived and located the suspect, a male a male believed to be in his 40s, in his car. He was ordered to step from his car. After he got out, he physically resisted officers. Officers were able to get the suspect in handcuffs and noted he appeared to be suffering medical distress. Officers called for an ambulance. He was transported to Hennepin County Medical Center by ambulance, where he died a short time later. At no time were weapons of any type used by anyone involved in this incident, except for when Derek Chauvin pulled out his pepper spray and threatened to spray witnesses if they tried to stop him from murdering George Floyd. But I guess technically he didn't deploy his pepper spray. He just pulled it out. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has been called to investigate this incident at the request of the Minneapolis Police Department. No officers were injured in this incident. Thank God. Not really sure how they would be injured with 4 of them basically detaining a handcuffed man, but whatever. The go number associated, blah, blah, blah. Body-worn cameras were on and active during this incident. I'm eager to see the body cam that they'll probably try and hold off on releasing for a little bit. So what the police narrative is starting with, he was ordered to step from his car. He got out. He physically resisted officers. That's a common thing in these cases of like a police assault, a police abuse, police shootings. They automatically go for the suspect was doing something. And sometimes they are, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all police shootings are unjustified. But, you know, it's common to see a narrative that is not correct. This narrative is 100% not correct. So, oh, I forgot my little thing. This is another camera that was another camera shot that was released today, or started spreading on social media today. That's the thing. More and more videos have been coming out, and that's good, because the other thing in this situation, people always say, well, what was that guy doing? What was he doing before 8 cops kicked the living shit out of him? So that actually has been coming out. This is a video of them approaching the van. Now remember, the Minneapolis Police Department claimed that he stepped out of the van and then resisted arrest, and then they managed to subdue him and handcuff him. Notice, all right, you might see a little bit of wiggling around or whatever, but they're handcuffing him at the van. Remember, the Minneapolis Police Department statement said he stepped out of the van, resisted, and then they had to subdue him. Not really seeing anything that would have called for Derek Chauvin to... I mean, honestly, there's nothing. George Floyd could have turned around and started punching cops in the face, and there was no excuse for Chauvin to keep his neck or his knee on his neck for that period of time. There's none. Okay, so there we can still kind of go with still we don't know what all happened. It skips a whole bunch from that point. Those blanks are being filled in again. This, like I said, this is another thing that really makes this even worse because stuff is coming out and you're really seeing the full story, which that's why Minneapolis... It's one of the reasons. It's a growing problem as why Minneapolis is being torn apart tonight, and probably for the next little while. The cops so far, just an FYI, the 4 police officers involved have been fired. They have not been charged as of yet. They said that they're still waiting on coroner's report and everything else, which is another reason why people are mad. If that had been people that did not have badges on, there would have been arrests made, like right that minute. But as normal, like, you know, a perfect example of that is Amber Geiger with Botham. Amber Geiger was basically allowed to turn herself in when she was ready, and some of her higher ups, I mean, they were basically ready to they were able to get her bail together, make sure that she just walked in and out of jail. It was a joke. But the calls of this being murder, I mean, they're correct. They're 100% correct. This was murder. Here's a Facebook post that ends up helping fill in some of those blanks. At 6 a.m., Jared Brewington posted, at 6 a.m. today, I was contacted by the Washington Post regarding the killing of George Perry Floyd. They thought I still owned the location where Funky Grits was on 38th in Chicago. They were looking for all the first half of footage before Mr. Floyd was on the ground and died. Luckily, the new restaurant owner, Rashid Shad West, Dragon Walk, is a close friend. I coordinated the safe retrieval of this important footage. Rashad and his family are in the location to promote another minority-owned business and help grow love. They have asked me to coordinate this video release to protect the community and protect the truth of a horrible act by authorities. Their hearts are heavy today, as are all of ours. Their cameras saw the entire arrest before the horrendous video we all saw today. We have the only footage the police do not have, and we have shared it with the Washington Post. It will be released soon, which good on them. That was fucking awesome that they went that route instead of just handing it over to the cops, because chances are this footage would maybe not even ever see the light of day. The FBI came this morning with warrants and took footage from the other area businesses. Mr. Floyd was handcuffed without resistance and listened to the officers. They walked him across the street, laid him down, and you saw the rest. This was murder. I am posting this to protect the truth, the South Side, Minneapolis, and black men. This footage is safe and unedited. Nakima Levi Armstrong, Angela Collins. Okay, and then he tagged some people. So now we have seen him get pulled over and them handcuff him right there at the side of his van door. And now we will see that gap between them at his van and then the actual murder. Let's go ahead and switch to that for you guys. All right, so there you got Chauvin. That's Derek. Okay, and so that video then, the video of them from behind, it's this car. There's somebody in there. That's the video that we just watched. It's this dude recording. I initially thought that that officer on the passenger side was Tao, but I don't think it is. I think he's one of the four, or one of the other two that are restraining his legs or his back. Okay, let's skip forward a little bit. Okay, we got George out of the car. So it looks like right there he quite possibly did just a normal, like, I mean, brief argue type thing. We got 2 passengers. Okay, so right there they have him handcuffed and everything. That's where we'd be seeing the brief. It's kind of hard to tell what even happened there. Okay, my guess is that might be Tao's little bastard ass. Nope. Okay, so that's the one of the cops that was either on the legs or the back. Or no, is that Tao's little bastard ass? That might be Tao. Okay, so we know for a fact at this point that he was handcuffed and everything. Oh, Tao didn't have an outer vest, did he? That's right. Good point, Davian. Looking around for cameras. Who was Derek was looking around for cameras. Okay, so. Okay, so that makes sense then. Right there. Okay, so it almost looks like he like fell. Up here in this top corner, it almost looks like George fell to the ground. Yeah, that doesn't look like a resisting situation. Oh, and then that other one blocks it. Of course, that other one blocks it.
We are running our COVID-19 technology response on Teams.
I can actually share my screen and show the x-rays. We can do that in a visit like this.
Hush. Whoa. Is that video? Huh. I'm not sure where the security video. There it is. So that like literally tells the whole story of what happened with George Floyd, what happened beforehand. There are no gaps. And it turns out this guy, but yeah, the video that we just watched, that has to be who this guy is. We could probably even match those two videos up if we really sat there and worked on it. So again, we have like the whole timeline there. They approached George Floyd at the van. They were able to handcuff George Floyd, detain him and everything, and then they literally walked him across the street and murdered him. Like, straight up, that's what happened. Why is that video currently not available? I don't know what just happened that. Yeah, overall though, this is where we ended up. Literally, he was across the street on the other side. He was handcuffed and everything. He wasn't resisting. It looks like he fell right before they were getting into the police car, and they ended up murdering him. There's not, there's not really another way of putting it. And again, it was all four cops on him. It was all four cops when Derek Chauvin held his knee on his neck for fucking 8 minutes. He was handcuffed. He was detained. Why were they even on him? Was if he was cuffed? That I don't know. I honestly don't like none of this. There's like this is one time where the Minneapolis Police Department really shouldn't even try and fucking defend this whatsoever. Even that police statement that they released trying to claim he was resisting and that's what caused this. That, I mean, they need to just shut the fuck up. This, man, they fucked up. They fucked up seriously. They're fucking up more by not charging. I would say all four officers should be charged. Honestly, Chauvin should get charged for murder because he 100% murdered that man, but the other three officers are 100% accessories to that murder. This isn't something that is disputable, like on any level. It also turns out that the main two officers, which Officer Tao, he's the Asian officer that kept on ordering people to get back while Chauvin remained with his neck and his knee for 8 minutes. There's also this, which is just some of the stuff. I'm sure more is going to continue coming out on probably all the four officers involved. I believe the other two officers have been identified too, but I didn't get a chance to verify that before this. Oh, there already is, Matthew. We'll take a little tour of Twitter and see what's going on in Minneapolis because of this shit. But this, the Star Tribune, which there's a article in the description of this video that links off to basically all of this shit. You can find just about anything there that you need. There's also links to like the Facebook, YouTube. This is also on YouTube. You can go back and forth, all that good stuff. Derek Chauvin. Looks like Derek Chauvin was, at the very least, involved in a shooting in 2008 where he shot Latrell Tolles during a domestic assault call. Police responded around 2 a.m. to this domestic assault, and Tolles apparently tried to run. They caught him, though, and they claimed that Tolles had reached for one of the officer's guns, which, yeah, I don't know. Now, after seeing this shit and seeing how fucked in the head, obviously, Derek Chauvin is, who knows if that guy really grabbed for a gun or not. He shot Tolles in the torso, though, and Tolles ended up surviving. Derek was placed on administrative leave for that shooting. Imagine with pay, that's how the normal protocol is. And then earlier that year, he was also awarded a... God, what was he awarded? Let's see. He started the Minneapolis Police Academy in October 2001. He has worked in the 1st, 3rd, 4th Precinct and Waterworks Security Detail. Earlier this year, he was awarded a Department Medal of Valor for his response in an incident involving a man armed with a gun. And this was in 2008, May of 2008. Then he's also named as an officer involved in the shooting of 42-year-old Wayne Reyes in 2006. The officers claimed that Reyes pulled a shotgun on officers. Again, I don't know. I haven't looked much into that shooting. I would question a lot of what this officer did in his career. A couple of these officers, actually, after seeing their behavior in this video. Officer Tao, in 2017, he was actually sued by Lamar Ferguson and another officer, Officer Robert Thunder, for excessive use of force. According to the lawsuit, Ferguson and a woman who was 8 months pregnant were walking home when Tao and Thunder stopped and searched them without cause. The officers handcuffed Ferguson, and Tao threw him to the ground and began punching him, while Thunder kicked him. According to the allegations, the officers took Ferguson to the hospital for medical treatment. Afterward, they escorted Ferguson to jail wearing only his underwear and t-shirt, rejecting hospital staff's request that he be allowed to fully dress, according to the complaint. In a deposition, Tao said they arrested Ferguson due to an outstanding arrest warrant. He said he only punched Ferguson. I only punched the suspect. Jesus Christ. Tao said he said he only punched Ferguson after one of Ferguson's hands slipped out of the handcuffs. He tried to pull away, Tao said in the deposition, and he put his hands on me and tries to give me a stiff arm in a way to try to get me off of him. After that point, he's actively resisting arrest. So I had no choice but to punch him. I punched him in the face. It causes him to pause a bit, which gives Officer Thunder the time to come around and help. The case settled out of court for $25,000, according to Seth Leventhal, one of Ferguson's attorneys. And Ferguson actually claimed that they threw him to the ground, and then Tao was punching him nonstop while Officer Thunder was kicking him while he was down. So that's super fucking cool. Pretty good officers to begin with. And again, Officer Tao is the one that was keeping people from trying to help George Floyd, and at the same time not stopping Derek from murdering a man. pretty much. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. I'm not gonna say a lesser word. Like, he 100% protected that cop while he murdered a fucking citizen. Over on Twitter, Minneapolis is fucked. I mean, I don't even know. Like, this is the crowd that was out in the street today. Blocks and blocks of people. Oh man, Ahmad, here, I'll read that. Do you know about the dead Mexican man who got shot 5 times because he wasn't following orders and let the cops go free? He was deaf. That is a serious fucking problem. And a lot of people don't think about that, but like deaf and blind, they actually, especially deaf, there's some really big issues with them being physically assaulted for like not responding to orders because they're fucking deaf. But I don't really know if it's right to say, in all fairness, like obviously the officer doesn't know that the person's deaf, most likely. But I mean, it's like our police training is a problem, and then our police union is a bigger problem that keep this layer of protection over these cops after this shit. But they aren't even fucking around in Minneapolis. Like, there's been some serious protests with cops getting their windows broken out. They're fucking pissed. Again, they have every right to be. They literally have every single right to be pissed right now. And at this point, man, it's just such a bad time for something like this too. Like, people are already frustrated and shit with the COVID and all of that shit. People are pissed off at the police in general just for poor treatment against minorities, especially. Man, it's just this is happening at a really dangerous point in this country. Looks like.
Open your eyes! Open your door! Unlock the door! Oh no! Let's keep our eyes open. Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out right now! Come out!
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Apparently, Minneapolis police were tear gassing. Oh, that's at the police station. Yeah, they're fucking pissed. Yep, there it is.
I'm with WCCO. Hey! Get out of here! Get out of here! Okay. Get out of here! Okay, I'm good. WCCO. WCCO.
Man. Yeah, they need to arrest those fucking officers. See, these dudes don't give a fuck right now. Man, they fucked up, man. It's just a tear gas over the city. I've seen some heavy fucking protests. I've watched cars be lit on fire and tipped over. And like, man, I wish my car license plate and tags were all I'm in the middle of getting my license, my tags for my new car and shit. Or else I'd fucking be on the road to there right now. Yeah, I've never seen them buck up like that. Like, these dudes they're fucking pissed out there.
Come this way, it's out of room.
Get out of there!
Arrested. No, as of right now, it's just 4 officers fired. There hasn't been an arrest made yet, as far as I know, unless it's happened since I started this stream. Just looking at them fucking up the cop cars today, if they don't press charges, these people gonna burn that city to the fucking ground, and they got every right to do it right at this moment. I mean, they went this was too far, man. That was way too far. That Minneapolis, if they want to get their streets under control, they need to arrest those fucking officers and charge them. Plain and fucking simple. There ain't no other way around that, especially now that these other videos are out showing that George Floyd wasn't doing anything to even come close to warrant it, which again, I don't even think there is anything that warrants a police officer to be able to kill you in that fashion. Just a slow death while other citizens beg them to stop. There's nothing that warrants that. Nothing. Like this... Yeah, until there's charges, they're gonna destroy that fucking city. Honestly, I don't even know who to call to demand arrest. I can guarantee you every fucking phone number related to Minneapolis or the Minneapolis Police Department is probably flooded. I would say Minneapolis politicians, or if anything, if you do want to try and call someone, try and call the higher up politicals in Minneapolis and demand arrest. But I don't even know if you'd be able to get through to them right now, because this is really starting to make the rounds. A lot of people are fucking pissed all around the country about this. Normally when that happens, the phones are just done. So guarantee you too, you're going to continue to see these kind of responses, these escalating heavy responses from they've lost control of this situation. Oh, Unicorn Riot's out there. I've always gotten along with the Unicorn Riot guys. So they might have streamers out there and shit. That's not a bad page and channel to follow at all. Man, and that's good too. You're seeing all different races out there. You're seeing you're yeah, I mean that's good. That's scarier when you're seeing a bunch of different people coming together, and then you're forcing the cops to do shitty shit to white people and shit. Because let's not be stupid, that does make a difference. It 100% makes a difference. So I mean, once you start tear gassing white people and shit, that's when you get the letters to senators and shit written. Yeah, this is probably gonna get worse before it gets better.
Police officer, I can't support that. Yeah, you can't be weak. Contradicting yourself, Benny. I'm gonna have to say, contradicting yourself.
Can't be manipulated.
Contradicting yourself.
What am I manipulating? That's manipulation when you turn the other cheek.
Criminal.
When you turn the other cheek on a criminal act, you're manipulating.
Appears.
I told you, let me tell you something.
Appears.
Let me tell you something.
I appear black.
I told you.
I think this is a lie because that badge says Houston Police. So I don't know why they're claiming that. Speaks with friends at George Floyd in Third Ward community. Oh, that's where he's from. That's right. That's another thing. He's not even a Minneapolis resident. George Floyd wasn't. So that makes sense.
Can you say it? Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Let me tell you why I'm pointing that out. That's what it's about. Let me tell you why I'm pointing that out. Because
okay, that makes a bit more sense. Yeah, all right. So they're taking the fight to their house. They're going straight to the 3rd precinct.
y'all knew they was gonna bring the tear gas up.
No, Davian, I'm saying that minorities are more likely to have already been fucked over by politicians and ignored and hear their shit for so long. And I mean, that just is what it is. That's something that's very common. It's starting to change around the country. But to try and even pretend like in a lot of areas around our country there are not racial issues is fucking ignorant. I mean, obviously this shit exists. I guarantee you Chauvin wouldn't have had his neck in the knee of a white man in a nice white rich neighborhood for 10 minutes while, I mean, that just, it wouldn't have happened. I mean, you can disagree all you want, but there's a lot of stats out there that do show that. I've seen it with my own eyes. You living in New Mexico, I mean, Jesus Christ, if you look at some of your police department stats all around that state when it comes to Native Americans, blacks, any minority, you can see right there that there is a racial element. New Mexico police, y'all got some fucked up police departments out there. Some really fucked up police departments out there. Y'all got some major racial issues. I remember back when I had dreads, I did this like video pilot thing for these people. I had long ass dreads, and this was in my home state of Kansas. Man, they took me out to this middle of nowhere. It was a dowsing rod thing. Like you walk around with the metal rods to find oil, water, whatever. And they took me out to the middle of nowhere, Kansas. I was talking to the guy that like got me out there, and like I found this little bar in this town. I went there, and it was just odd. Like people were not cool with the dreads. And I went back to my hotel and shit that night, and the next day I was telling him about it, that there's this one like super cowboy dude that just he could not understand my dreads, and he thought like the dowsing thing was like that I was doing witchcraft. Like I came to his little town in Kansas to practice Satanism or some shit with a hairstyle he didn't understand. And he told me if it would have been like 50 miles to the north or some shit, that I probably wouldn't have even walked out of that town. And they still have like this memorial to some KKK group or some shit, and it's in like a historic thing at this point, so it won't be taken down, and the town's like protected it. I forget where that is, but it's somewhere here in Kansas. But I remember even thinking, because it's not that far from Wichita where I am, like this was just hours away. We drove there, like I didn't fly there. And I remember thinking how weird it was that like this close to my hometown, you can drive to this place where like even a hairdo is going to piss them off. Like it was just odd. It was odd to have that told. But I mean, St. Louis, man. St. Louis is a bad one. I spent enough time out in St. Louis to see that. That area has some serious issues.
Way too long. That's too long. It's on. That shit dead. They killed us on live television. Right there on the motherfucking time. Fuck that.
Chauvin, man, you know, Chauvin might have started a war. I mean, this country is 100% like one wrong killing away from a civil war. It already feels like. I mean, who knows? Depending on the cops' response to this, who knows? Like, this is a really bad, volatile situation at a really bad, volatile time in the country. I think this entire death, this entire response, I don't know, this seems a little bit different. But again, especially after you start watching all the videos put together and how unjustified that murder was, it's understandable why people are pissed. I mean, it is 100% understandable why people are pissed. Damn, they fucked their door all up. Yeah, they're not fucking around. They're going straight to the police station like, fuck you guys. Oh, here's another angle. There we go. So again, that shows. And I don't even think, oh shit, I don't even think the other witnesses are there yet. Because look, Tao has his back turned And I think for pretty much the whole 10-minute video that's been going around, I think Tal's already turned around facing over there. So I think that's like another part we might have missed. Or might have been missing. But you can clearly see George Floyd. Well, I mean, not clearly. Clearly, the video footage is a little blurry and shitty, but that's George Floyd on the ground there. This is Derek Chauvin with his knee in his neck, and then another officer on his back and another officer on his feet, restraining his legs.
My face is gone. I can't breathe, man. Please. Please let me stand. Please, man, I can't breathe. My face is gone. I can't breathe, man. Please. Please let me stand.
So fucked up, man. Look at that. They are fucking pissed, man. Good for them, though. Honestly, I swear if I had this whole tagging the new car thing, this whole COVID thing has not made tagging the car easy. So, man, if I had that thing done, I would be on my way there right now. Soon, though, soon enough.
Nice.
Look at all those people. Man, I'm telling you, unless David, you got a legitimate question there. I understand protesting your beliefs, and I feel what I saw in the video is wrong, and a man of any race should have not died. But what good does it what good does enacting an additional violence? You know, I agree. It's see, the thing is, like, protesters and peaceful people need each other. There's like a balance. For it to work right, you need people in the street showing outrage just as much as you need people then on the inside demanding law change and shit. The people outside in the streets give the people inside leverage. Like, look, man, these motherfuckers ain't gonna calm down until you give me something. We want this law. So it has in balance. One thing that sucks, like especially with the destruction of other people's shit, there's oftentimes not only just there's just anger, pure anger and rage, and then a lot of times there's a just misguided rage. And it also depends on the group that you're talking about as well, because different groups come with different ideologies, all that good shit. One thing, though, that is really common in these situations is that you have a lot of people that come from other areas that will go fuck stuff up. They'll come in and they'll go fuck stuff up. Like one thing with Ferguson, when I was out there, you saw a lot of people from St. Louis. Most of the time, the majority of the rest were people from St. Louis driving to Ferguson. That's because it was like 30 minutes away. I think it's something like a 30-minute distance between St. Louis and Ferguson, if I remember correct. You can just pop over, you can fuck shit up, you can loot shit, you can break shit, you can burn shit down, and then you can go back to your home and you're fine. So it you know, then there's also, for a long time in these heavy protest areas, there has been pretty fucking spot on belief of just agitators, people that go into the crowd to try and escalate things and to try and get people in trouble. In Standing Rock, there was Kyle. Fuck, I did so many articles on him. What was his damn name? Kyle was one of the security guys. Anybody with Standing Rock probably remembers Kyle. Kyle dressed up as a water protector, like in a black shirt and red bandana. And man, I can't believe I don't remember his name. But anyways, he dressed up like a water protector and had a truck and was rushing towards where protesters were. I don't think they were communicating correctly, so he didn't know that the protesters had already moved on. And what happened was security, Mike Fatigue and a couple others ended up pinning him in another vehicle and getting him out of the vehicle, and he got out with an assault rifle and shit. And again, fully dressed as a water protector, had like his tattoos covered and everything. He was from one of these. He wasn't with Tiger Swan, but he was with one of the smaller security groups that were out there. That was discovered after he was apprehended, and they went through the truck and found the rental papers for the truck and like his security badge and everything. So like that wasn't just a conspiracy. That was true that Kyle was from the security watching all of the protesters at Standing Rock. This is just a theory. But this was when it was heavy protest time. This was before, was it before? This was before the water cannons, the like viral moment where Standing Rock had millions of viewers all around the world as the law enforcement were spraying them down with water hoses in the middle of freezing cold weather. I think Kyle was before this. It was still heavy protests. If I got my timeline right. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, an opinion has always been that he went down there dressed as a water protector, armed, to just fire around at the cops. Because one thing, like, he doesn't have to go down there and kill a cop or do anything crazy like that, but he goes down into that crowd dressed as a water protector, pops off one round just up in the air. That's it. Like, that shit is done. From that point on, they can use whatever force they want and get everybody the fuck out. So I don't know. I don't know if that was really what happened. It's super weird that Kyle claimed that he was just going to check stuff out, but he was also had a long history of drug use. Just a real weird thing all around. So what do you think the best thing MPLS Police Department can do at this point? Charging the officers with murder is evident. Then what? I don't know that will calm anything. Yeah, Kyle Thompson. That's fucking it. Fucking, yeah, latent security. Good job, Rocky. Fucking Kyle Thompson. Ugh. That little prick. I was almost going to get to talk to him at one point, but he like chicken shitted out. But I did enough articles on him that I had his attention. That little prick. Yeah, he was all methed up. Well, Kyle Thompson. I don't know. But what can they do? Yeah, they can charge the officers, and at this point, it would probably be all 4 officers. Like, I don't even know if the police would settle for just Tao and Derek. I don't know if the people would just settle for those 2 at this point. I think they'd want all 4 officers arrested, which they should want. All 3 officers there with Derek were accessories to murder. That demand is very, very fair. Aside from that, you know, Minneapolis is one of those places that already has a strained relationship with the police force, especially when you're talking about the black community with the police force. So, you know, to repair a situation like this, I don't know. I don't know if it was repairable before this. Honestly, Kathy, I think that was Kathy that asked that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I don't even know if I repeated that, but I was asked what if I thought there was anything they could do to fix this. I mean, no. Probably not. Maybe some sort of legislation after charging all 4 officers. Yeah, all 4 officers were fired, but let's face it, getting fired for fucking murdering man for 10 minutes on camera, that's not really going to cut it. Like, I don't know. Maybe legislation that starts pursuing police for brutality. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really think like everything. I mean, it's the same as fucking Amber Geiger, but it's like 2.0. The fact that they're not arresting him right now, that's obviously adding to the fucking problem. People are fucking pissed. These guys just murdered a man on camera and they're not in jail. And then if they do, like, that'll probably add to it, honestly, if they do that Amber Geiger shit where the police union is given time to get their fucking bail money ready and shit, so they just go in and come right out and they're not treated as a regular person. That's one of the biggest problems that people are sick of when it comes to cops. They are not treated like regular people. Like, if 4 other dudes, just random dudes, would have done that shit to fucking George Floyd and the video still went viral, they would all 4 be arrested right now. They'd probably go arrest the person that was filming. I mean, normal people would be in jail right now. So that's the problem. That is the fucking problem. So I don't know. To try and say that these motherfuckers are talking about they need an investigation. And I spent roughly 2 hours before this live gathering this stuff together. And anybody that's watched this live all the way through, we literally pieced together this whole thing with the video that's out there. Like, there's no gaps. There's no questions of what fucking happened. Like, they fucking murdered him. So trying to tell the people that they have to do this investigation. No, man. No, that's making it worse. That's making it fucking worse. There ain't shit to investigate there, man. Fucking Tao blocked people while Derek fucking killed a man. What is that? Live? Somebody sent me a live from Watchdog, but it's looking like their live froze up. Let me try and refresh. Yeah, for some reason that live is freezing up on me. Here, we can get a quick look. I won't stay on their live very long, though. I'll put a link to their live in the comments. Took a second for the sound to come on that first time. But I'll put, somebody else had placed this link in the comments. And I'll do the same. There's a Periscope live. Yeah, we saw Unicorn Riot was down there. No, I'm not with Unicorn Riot. I've been with the unit core guys a few times. I think during Standing Rock, they like used some of my articles or some shit. I remember I talked to them about something with Standing Rock. They've always been super nice, though. I support the Unicorn Riot guys. I don't know what's going on with the sound here. Let's go back and see what Twitter's saying. And just an FYI on the Twitter thing, I'm just going through, I'm not even going through a hashtag. I just search for George Floyd. Prosecutors and detectives do not charge people straight away. They gather evidence, including interviews with the accused. Normally the person is put in jail while prosecutors decide on charges after they murder someone on camera. Like, I don't know how you're trying to paint this as a better picture here, MG. But you go kill someone on video and let me know if they just let you chill for a minute while they put together the case or if you're arrested. I mean, I don't even know what that argument's supposed to mean. Yeah, all the time, man. They just let people fucking kill people on fucking Facebook Live, and then, you know, they just chill for a minute before they arrest them. I mean, why not? Sounds brilliant. Yeah, that's not how that works at all. They're not in jail right now because they're fucking cops. They're protected by a badge. That's what that is. That's the reason why they're not in jail right now. They don't have enough to charge them. You live in a fascinating world, MG. But they had enough to fire them. They had enough to fire them, but not enough to charge them. Like, this is a pretty... I mean, at this point, the mayor, the police chief, every police spokesperson there is, has admitted this was wrong. They fucked up. But you're talking about they're not arrested because they don't have the evidence. Like, there's 10 minutes of fucking evidence. They could charge them right now. If those people did not have badges, they would be charged right now. I can guarantee that. Like, fuck, man. The Houston Chronicle says they were fired but then put on administrative paid leave. I hope that is not that's not correct. The last I knew was that they were just fired. I don't know that the administrative leave part is correct. I would hope that's not correct because that would really not help this situation. That'd be about the dumbest fucking thing that they could do right at this moment. Is decide that they weren't going to fire all 4 officers. That... fuck. Let's refresh and see if we got anything new. I'm just looking in the videos section as well. Let's go see what's happening over on latest.
Take the on the same team. What do y'all not understand? We're on the same team. This is not okay. No, it's not. Mexican, you
Let this bitch over!
Man. Which actually, this is why that dude kneels. In case anybody was confused on that. Oh, it'll be okay, Russell.
They're tear gassing us! They're tear gassing us! They're tear gassing us!
Throw that shit back! Throw that shit back!
They're tear gassing us! Look, Mason! They're Mason right now!
It's okay either way, Russell.
I know you see that! They're Mason us! They're tear gassing us right now! They're tear gassing us! They're tear gassing us! They're tear gassing us!
Throw that shit back! Throw that shit back!
I hate tear gas. Still wish I was there, though. Man, I hate tear gas. Let's see. God, and this is everything that's in the last 3 minutes when you look for George Floyd on Twitter. So, I mean, they got this. Minneapolis has a rough road ahead of them. They got a real rough road ahead of them for the next while. Scanner link. You guys want to hear what the scanner's saying? We can get the scanner going.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Hey, cat surfers, we've got non-stop tunes to keep you rocking while you work. Oh,
We have a brief 15 to 30 second ad playing.
Trial at Movie Plus ends tomorrow, and your card may be charged. Do you want
But then this is the
So meet Eno.
this is the scanner for Hennepin County.
Looks out for surprise charges, like when free trials expire, and helps if you need to fix them. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Limitations apply.
Come right out the front doors. For the cops that are in the
100%.
what we've got back there right now. We're going to remove these other cars that are on the north side and double side barricade it.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get the cop cars out of there because they keep on trashing the cop cars. But yeah, no. I think we're all in agreement on this thread, except for MC, that if that was not a cop, he'd be in jail right now. Honestly, at this point, man.
101, we're going to need a QRF to actually make it across the street. They're looting this liquor store across the street. And we're going to see if we can secure that.
So now they're just looting.
1281, copy. 1281.
Assemble in front of the precinct.
1281 to assemble in front of the precinct.
1281, multiple glass balls deployed.
Copy, multiple glass balls deployed.
Yeah, that's 100% correct.
1103, we got those 2 squads out of the screen. Let's have all the officers get back behind the barriers now.
You
Two
can.
squads have been removed. All officers to go behind the barriers, and more blocks are being thrown.
Prosecutors can change charges. That's pretty common. They could be arrested for simple battery right now and then held.
1281, right by the flagpole, if you would.
Yeah, those officers could be held right now on like battery, assault, some shit like that, a lesser crime, and then the prosecutors could up the charges to murder, accessories to murder, and all that.
Hey, when you get to the scene, can you go up on the ramp and give Mark some lights?
That's common protocol for this sort of shit.
494, 2 pilot, correct?
Normally, you don't let a murderer just run the streets free while you build a case to arrest him. Normally he's arrested and held while the case is built. Do you kind of understand why you wouldn't want a murderer running the streets free?
1281, on me. Sergeant Patel.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube and Facebook are in my comments right now. And again, there's links on to both if people want to hop back and forth and see what YouTube's saying, what Facebook is saying, etc., etc.
101 to 1101.
Rucker and Clunge come to the front of the precinct.
So the other policeman that said if he could talk, he could breathe. What was the race of the other policeman that said if he could talk, he could breathe?
Man, and see shit like that, like fucking with them at the like memorial site, that shit never goes over well.
Like 31st, stop all northbound traffic, and then let's shut it down at 28th.
Shutting Minnehaha down at 31st for northbound traffic and shutting down at 28th.
Oh yeah, they're shooting shit.
I want to make sure that we're not just putting single squads out there. Let's make sure that we're putting at least 3 squads at each intersection with a number of personnel to kind of hold their own.
Copy, at least 3 squads at each intersection.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Prince 1101 East 80th Street, apartment 200 is loud noises coming from the apartment.
Come on, man, that's just crazy.
Did they just pop him with a rubber bullet?
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
I don't even know what just happened there.
Copy, 1281 moving.
This is fucking crazy.
We have the child protection report.
I'm not really sure what happened there just now. Oh no, and MG, you're good, man. I think you're incorrect on
1281 First Precinct going to
some
make
of
a
what
corridor
you're
for us to
saying.
get across the street and form a skirmish line. We're going to go in and clear out that building.
Don't take disagreements as hard feelings. I totally think that we should all be allowed to argue and opinionate and all that good shit. I mean, especially my comments section. I'm just a dude. My comments don't matter. Y'all can argue in my comments. y'all. I'm not one of those weird streams. Like, people are
809
allowed.
Spring Street, apartment 202.
People are allowed to argue and disagree with me.
What, 211 copies?
That's completely fine. I mean, I think me and Davian agree on anywhere from 10 to 60% of stuff, and the rest of the time we just fucking argue and shit. So, I mean, Davian's been around for a minute now, so.
How long to any officers that are in the rear of the precinct? How are we looking back there?
Man, that watchdog stream keeps on.
1281. One blast ball going to be deployed at the door of the business.
Oh, they're deploying
One
something
glass
at
ball
the door.
deployed at door to business.
What'd they say? Glass ball? What?
In the rear of the precinct, advise of the status back there for 101.
342, we're doing good. Still nobody back here. Quads are at it's good right now.
You 101, did you copy?
1103 to 101, we're a little thin on officers. If there's somebody over in the precinct we can send over. We also could use a couple officers with 40s or a car team to cover us while the other car team is inside the liquor store. Copy that. We have a contingent of Bert. You want Bert over there? If they're not doing anything, yeah, that would help.
Yeah, these motherfuckers got their hands full.
Copy that. I'm sending Bert over there now.
Let's see. We'll go ahead and refresh over there.
John.
Check the area, 6200 block of Portland, on Portland. I have a female who is saying she's being followed by a black male. She's unable to tell me approximately her cross street, but her phone is pinging right by the water plant.
John, copy.
What the fuck are they doing here?
He fucking killed somebody. They shouldn't complain about shit.
We're out here.
Oh,
We're
shit.
taking rocks over by the liquor
Are they
store.
are they at Chauvin's
Copy,
house?
taking rocks for the liquor store.
Pouring rain. Like the cop just said, as long as you stay on the property line, there's nothing they can complain about. He fucking killed somebody. They shouldn't complain about shit.
We're out here.
Oh, man.
Pouring rain.
Fuck.
This is where you guys should be.
Yep.
Instead of the south side.
On the south side, but he's right here.
Nah,
Long Lake
he
Lieutenant 2 to dispatch you control Long Lake Fire clear from the house alarm.
he probably ain't right there.
Clear, not 2336.
I doubt Derek is in the area anymore. Or I don't know. Maybe he is. It almost sounded like he'd been in contact with the cop trying to keep people away. Could I explain the glass balls, please? I don't know. I don't know if I heard them correct. I have no clue what that would be. I just don't think that I heard him correct. My guess would be...
We're doing well as far as personnel. Entries made in the liquor store, they broke out about a 2-foot by 6-foot side thing next to the door. We're going to have to try to figure out a way to secure that. Maybe if first precinct or third precinct desk can work on a key holder, let them know they need to get someone up there to board this up.
Yeah,
We do have the contact information for the business owner.
I think Alexandria is correct there in the comments. It was probably blast balls, basically rubber rounds. Less lethal, but still quite damaging.
1281, we're code 4 on the first floor. We're checking the basement.
Copy. Code 4 on the first floor, checking the basement.
And again, less lethal means less lethal. They can still kill. Broken bones, deep laceration, shit like that's pretty common.
About 6'4" for
when they get shot with the rubber bullets.
15 tonight.
Copy, clear.
What are they? Is that all tear gas there? Damn. I'm surprised more stuff isn't coming through on Twitter. Man, yeah, they at his house. They're
Property line, there's nothing they can complain about. He fucking killed somebody. They shouldn't complain about shit. We're out here. Pouring rain.
Yeah, man, that they're going strong in Minneapolis right now. They're at the police station. They're at his motherfucking house. They need to press some fucking charges, dude. This isn't...
The liquor store is willing to come secure it, but does not know when a safe time to respond would be.
Chauvin, you want to advise on that?
Copy.
This shit is not going to even start to
En
improve.
route, stage in the area, a safe place, and then we'll bring them in.
Copy. We'll advise them.
This ain't even going to start to improve
And
until...
1103 to dispatch, can you get an ETA from him?
Confirm.
Until there's arrests. Black dude that gunned down by three weeks ago by two white guys. Almond.
So anyone, you can also advise them so far it's just one broken window. All the other doors are locked.
Copy.
Was it Arbery? Yeah, and then what? Mick Michaels, father and son. They got charged. I haven't looked into it at all this week. Yeah, I mean, there's worse scenarios too. Like if they got charged and then, like, say Chauvin walked, oh man. I don't know, man. I don't know that we've ever seen a city pissed off like this, man.
Rise up!
Hey, come here. Come here. Come here.
Can somebody help me? Hey, help me.
Are you okay? Y'all look. Sit down, sister. Sit down, y'all.
Oh, shit.
Are you okay?
Hold
Yeah, man. See, that shit ain't gonna help. Sounds like they're using tear gas and flashbangs. Those flashbangs ain't no bitch, man. Man, so yeah, flashbangs, tear gas, rubber bullets. Sounds like they got everything out there. It looks like they have for a good part of the day. That right there, the milk on the face. Milk helps if you get tear gassed. Then what is it? Milk and magnesia. Milk and magnesia with water is actually better. If there is tear gas.
Go ahead.
What you want to do is you actually want to put it in a spray bottle. You don't want to touch your face. I don't know if anybody even in that area will ever see this, but yeah, tear gas, don't touch your face. Milk, magnesia, and spray bottles. Have those on some people, some street medics.
Minnehaha liquor.
Have them spray people's faces down and keep them from touching their face if they're tear gas or pepper spray and shit. And like you can make generic gas masks. I mean, they want tear gas. It's not gonna help a whole lot, but it'll help a little. And tear gas fucking sucks. just some goggles, and then get a handkerchief and get a sponge and put the sponge inside the handkerchief and soak that in apple cider vinegar. And that will actually help with the tear gas. Again, not a great replacement for a gas mask. If you have a gas mask, you want to wear a gas mask with tear gas. But if you don't have a gas mask, then yeah, you can use goggles and you can wrap a sponge soaked in apple cider vinegar and a handkerchief, put that around your face, and it'll at least help a little. At least help a little bit with the burning and shit that comes from breathing in tear gas and shit. 'Cause tear gas is just horrible all around. There's some ghetto ways, but
If you
yeah.
have a broken front window, he's going to have to get a board. And there's still people milling about around the whole building.
You can definitely get a rig up some like gas mask that'll just get you through. But again, it's not great protection. Another thing is shower. If you're in an area of tear gas, shower after that shit, because if you just leave it on you, it will like eat your skin, clothes, shit like that. If you have a sufficient an actual amount of tear gas just on you. Cold water in the shower. You don't want to use hot water if you're trying to wash off tear gas,
48,
pepper
45,
spray.
48, 76.
You for sure want to do like a cold water shower. You want to take those clothes off. You want to wash those. You want to wash those clothes before you wear them
Civil
again.
to 7401 West 101st Street. It's going to be unit number 209. RP will be waiting in the lobby on a property retrieval.
Yeah, you want to wash those clothes before you wear them again, because they will hold that stuff in, and you can end up doing skin damage and shit to yourself if you're not careful. So that's the thing. Like, it looks like they're using a lot of tear gas. Like, I'd suggest anybody out at that area with how much they're using, definitely change their clothes and take a cold shower after they get home.
Stand by for page Brooklyn Park City Career Station 1. Aging Brooklyn Park Duty Crew Station 1. You can start to the area 790 48th Avenue North for a possible overdose. For a male that's sweating, vomiting, hyperventilating, has been drinking, unknown what else was taken. No ILI. Cross-streets are Brookdale and 80th Avenue. Timeout 2345.
So that probably isn't going to help things right there. Apparently, just with the political atmosphere, the Trump administration and all that, that will probably start a whole different side fight right there. Which unfortunately is going to take away from the real issue.
630, 39. Go ahead, 16 for the man.
Tear gas nut! They're tear gas nut! They're tear gas.
So my radio cut out at the last part of that. I'm going to back up and come over to you there.
Talking. He's talking. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I wouldn't really know what's going on unless, you know.
Can I meet you on the 50 for a VIN?
I wonder. I feel like maybe I'll figure that out later. Like, I feel like I can use all the different footage there is to put it into one
Engine 1, 2347.
one like understandable piece. Maybe I'll do that after this live, and I'll do that in just like a regular upload video. It's like the page in the channel.
Can you meet me right in front of the doors of the precinct here?
Because I do have another video too of another direction during the actual murder.
101 hit the front precinct doors.
Okay, 1281 will be on site waiting for the owner at Minnehaha Liquor, and the first precinct can go back over to the precinct.
My guess on the scanner.
3301, the owner is not coming now. We are having board up respond. I'll let you know when they are close.
My guess on the scanners, they've probably for the majority of shit switched over to another channel. That's what they normally do during this shit, just so not everybody can hear what they're doing.
All the officers get back behind the barriers now.
2 squads have been removed. All officers to go behind the barriers, and more blocks are being thrown.
Damn.
1281 right by the flagpole, if you would.
30 minutes.
6-3.
I was able to find the draft 48 on the floor of the vehicle. It is William Charles George 265.
You go up on the ramp and give Mark
Copy, yeah, that's what it's coming back to on the vent. Look at the end.
For the ramp westbound 494, 2 pilot, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. He's gonna winch it out there.
Be there in a minute.
They trying to clear us out. You want to go that way?
I'm going to pause the scanner for a minute.
1281 on me. Sergeant Stuff.
They finna shoot this way. Come on.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you, anybody, if 4 men without badges would have killed George Floyd in that same fashion on fucking camera, they'd be in jail tonight. If they did not have a badge protecting them, you better believe all 4 of those motherfuckers and 2 other accomplices for like driving a car and shit would be in jail tonight. That you know that is how it would go. There is a badge. All 4 of those officers are being protected by a badge. That there ain't no question there. Like they murdered that man on camera. That's not. There is no what happened before, what led up to it, what was he doing? Oh, he had a weapon. No, man, they straight up murdered this dude in broad daylight in front of witnesses on camera. That they should be in jail right now. That is why they're going to tear that fucking city to the ground, and it's completely understandable why they would tear that city to the ground. And again, like I said earlier, prosecutors do change the charges all the time. So if anything, they'd be booked right now and held without a bail for like a simple assault while the prosecutor decided how to charge all 4 of them, and then come by the end of the week, they'd probably have the new charges filed and bumped up to murder, accessory to murder, etc., etc.
Copy, at least 3 squads at each intersection.
Can you see, bitch? Cause I can't.
Oh yeah, that's another thing, the CPS side of things. Like, did CPS come take Derek's kid today? Because I guarantee that'd be fired up too for a normal person that just fucking choked a man to death with his knee for fucking 8 minutes solid.
Where am I? My shit going.
81, we're moving now.
Oh, they're going left.
Copy, 1281 moving.
I'm gonna go back in that bus. I'm gonna. You got some bottle? My bitch went in
The official statement's bullshit.
Good.
Clear the child protection report. Or place 96.
96, just check. City.
It is dark as fuck, so you just walking there. It's big as fuck, and you just a whole lot looking everywhere.
I'm trying to get in that bus thing, but I'm not trying to get eat. They finna pop that bitch right over here. Look, he aiming.
1281, first precinct gonna make a corridor for us to get across the street and form a skirmish line. We're gonna go in and clear out that building.
They moving, hold on, come on.
Please clear out the building.
No, they all coming out now.
Oh shit. They're going to the liquor store right now. That's not good.
Okay, so that's what we were just hearing on the scanner.
Ain't good.
Best friend, y'all come over here.
809 Spring Street, apartment 202. Squad 211 copies.
They're going to the liquor store.
Oh, here they come. Here they come. Hold on. They not finna pop me. Here they come. Here they come.
Oh, police unions are a huge problem.
Officers that are in the rear of the...
A lot of people don't know that either when they're mad at the police. It's not just the police department you should be mad at. A lot of the time, they're actually less guilty. The police unions, that's who's fucking makes a lot of these fucked up deals, and like with bad cops have like agreements and shit of keeping them from being fired, funding, helping make sure that they get legal help, a whole bunch of shit. Like the police unions are a serious fucking problem. That's who draws up their contracts and shit. And a lot of people don't know that, which, you know, that is one thing. Like the liquor store is bullshit. I don't like when you see the protests and they like just start destroying public property and personal property. I know, like in the long run and taxes and all that, I get all that argument. But when they're just destroying the police's shit, when they're mad at the police, I'm kind of like, at least they're breaking the right people's shit, you know? I don't know. Am I saying it's the best thing to do and the best way to go about it? No, but it's definitely understandable. It's more than understandable. And at least they're not just breaking the wrong people's shit.
They cleared it out. Y'all too late.
They got into the liquor store after they emptied.
There you go. They still at the top.
John.
Check the area, 6200 block of Portland, on Portland. I have a female who is saying she's being followed by a black male. She's unable to tell me approximately her cross street, but her phone is pinging right by the water plant.
John, copy.
I'm dead. He gave you $20?
Officer Vert, repeat.
We're taking rocks over by the liquor store.
Copy. Taking rocks for the liquor store.
Can we go on the bus, please?
Davian, what are you talking about over there? That nobody jumping in to stop it? Davian, you know what would have happened if you would have went over there and pushed through those fucking cops and tried to stop that? You'd probably be dead with him. Either that or charged with some fucked off charges. Like you're asking why the people that watched it didn't go intervene with the 4 guys with guns murdering someone in front of them that's protected by a badge. Like there's pretty obvious reasons why they backed off from not stopping it. One dude started to approach it. I bet if Tao there would have stepped in the middle, he probably would have pushed Derek off. But I mean, dude, there's 4 cops with guns. Like, you're not, I'm sorry, but you're not a little bitch for standing that one out. You're going to get killed with them. And then what did you accomplish? Like, I get it. It's not really a valid argument, though, when you look at the 2 different teams. There was more people filming than cops. How many of those people were females? Have those people ever even been in a fight? It looked like there's, for the majority of it, a group of about 4 to 6 people standing there. It looked like a good chunk of those people were females. And not even trying to start the whole female versus male thing. But again, have they ever even been in a fight? Like, you're telling 8 random people to just all of a sudden lunge at 4 armed cops. that's more people are gonna get killed if you do that shit. Don't get me wrong. I think that, yeah. I mean, fucking. Nah, I wish people would have fucking stepped in. But also, I understand why people didn't. You literally are risking your life at that point in many different ways. Oh, cops will 100% get away. If people went towards them in that situation, there'd never be charges for that shit. That'd be 100% justified.
I think they going somewhere. The police definitely got their.
There is one new special marine warning.
It was dark as hell.
This is okay, well, if you don't like the live, get the fuck
No
off
witnesses
the live.
better for cops is
I'm not.
100% correct.
Looking stupid. Like, what you commenting for? What is you wasting your time?
Dead men tell no tales.
They should come out here as soon as they can take care of it.
Yeah, they still got a pretty good number of people out there,
So
too.
look what you gonna get.
Kayla need to shut her motherfucking big nose ass up.
Kayla gone.
Yeah, at this point, we can't even stand in front of the police station no more because.
Okay, y'all talking so much shit. They talking so
Or
much
the liquor
shit
store
behind these
is
comments.
willing
Come
to
out
come
here.
secure it,
Come out
but
here.
does
I
not
bet
know
your
when
ass
a
gonna go
safe
stand
time
in
to
front of
respond.
Hold on. This nigga Jared says. This nigga says.
Copy.
That's out here. Period.
En route, stage in the area, a safe place, and then we'll bring them in.
Copy. We'll advise them.
Man.
And 1103 to dispatch, can you,
Technically, you're supposed to be able to make citizen arrests on cops. But, I mean, that's kind of, that's another situation of, I'd say, good luck.
Doors are locked.
Watch the motherfucking kids. Y'all probably got black little sons in your motherfucking house. Stop commenting on this motherfucking live with that stupid shit.
Squad 211, code 4. 2340.
Shit, we don't give a fuck. They robbing lives.
Yeah, I'm with GQ on that one. I mean,
That should be fun.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to do citizens arrests on cops, but I don't know. I wouldn't. It's sad. I mean, it's sad, but I don't think I'd recommend trying that. I could see that just going real bad. And the thing is, like, the protection that they put around even legally, I mean, you fuck around and touch a cop wrong, like just touch him wrong, trip and fall into him, you can be charged with fucking assault on an officer, and then you're facing major charges. That's normally not a charge that they just laugh at. That's like gonna affect and change your life for a while sort of charge. So I don't know, man. You just walk up there, try and handcuff a cop, you better have some real good damn evidence with you. And like, what happened during LA riots in the 90s when was the right energy, but what they destroyed was people's livelihoods. They need to take it to the gates of the White House. MG, I totally agree with you there. And again, yeah, that's the thing. Like when you break out like the Starbucks window and shit like that, that's not doing anything. If anything, you just broke some dude's window that bought into a franchise and probably has insurance. So he's actually probably going to get more money from you breaking out that window. Yeah. Okay, Davian, I get your argument, but it doesn't matter. It's a pretty null argument. Again, should people have helped him? Yes. Is it understandable why people did not go try and pick a fight with 4 police officers? Yes. Especially 4 police officers that are murdering someone in front of them. It's understandable why they did not go in there and fight with the 4 officers with guns. And actually it sounded like that was a female that was recording. She was actually recording the guy. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can disagree all you want. Why don't you go out in New Mexico and go fight some cops over the bullshit that they do in your state every day? Because, I mean, New Mexico, you guys got some dirty-ass police forces. Put your money where your mouth is. Go fucking superhero the streets and go pick fights with cops and see how it works out. I mean, you can comment about it all fucking day. But the reality of the situation of trying to pick a fight with on-duty officers is a completely different situation. So please feel free to even Facebook Live you patrolling the streets of New Mexico and picking fights with cops that are breaking laws. I guarantee you'll find a cop abusing a privilege somewhere in New Mexico any given day of the week. So, I mean, have at it. Well, Davian, that's great. Facebook Live it next time so we can all watch it. I personally say it is understandable. If you can't agree with the logic of it's understandable why people didn't get into a physical fight with the officers, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's... I just really don't know what to tell you. Well, you never will you catch me filming it, so keep on running around and fighting on-duty police officers without any proof whatsoever, and then telling other people how you go fight police officers. Like, what the fuck kind of ridiculous argument are you trying to make right now? Jesus Christ, man.
Thank you for confirming Duty Crew Station 1. You can start to the area 790 48th Avenue North for a possible overdose. For a male that's sweating, vomiting, hyperventilating, has been drinking, unknown what else was taken. No ILI. Proceed to Brookdale and 80th Avenue. Timeout 23:45.
Your mom said go home. She trying to call you. I'm trying to call your mama.
Davian, and what I'm saying is, what are they going to do? You have 4 cops with guns. Fully loaded guns. There was a couple people recording. You can see that in the videos. The person recording was a woman. Like, one of those armed cops could kill all of those witnesses. Officer Tao that was standing was right there, able to pull out a gun and kill all fucking... I mean, fuck, he could kill 10 people on his own. Not to mention... George Floyd's already on the ground. You have 2 officers on the back end besides Derek that are free and open to stand up and open fire. Like, you're not going to go pick a fight with 4 cops. Not unless you have a huge backing behind you. I mean, and that's understandable. Again, you can't really be mad at the witnesses for not fighting the 4 cops. Like,
Come on.
And you know what's funny? Half the Black Lives is on this live watching. There's more white people out here. They gonna keep doing.
Chicago 38.
Just like talking to one roll.
We got niggas everywhere.
Comfort Engine 1, 2347.
Yeah, I know. All you weak ass niggas at home, niggas on where the fuck are you? Niggas at that guy's crib. We got niggas everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. Because, I mean, in a situation like this, obviously the video of the death is doing more in the long run than that person being murdered as well, and then the phone being destroyed, and then the video never coming out, and nobody ever knows what happened. Like, that there's a lot of different ways this could have gone. This 100% could have been just swept under the fucking rug. I mean, things like this have been swept under the rug countless times. Okay, where are you even getting, like, by the time 6 people were even there, George Floyd was dead. You can see at the beginning, there's like 3 people there. The woman recording, the other dude that tried to walk in and then Tao got in the way, and then the third woman that was a first responder. There's like 3 people there versus 4 armed cops. Davian, can you just fucking drop it and stop making me try to get through to you why it is understandable that people would not fight armed cops? Like, this is one of the dumbest arguments you've ever carried on. Should somebody have stepped in? Somebody should step in anytime they're seeing people get murdered. Should someone step in if they know they are going to be murdered as well? Maybe not as good of an idea. I mean, should you go ahead and fight it? Sure. But, come on.
You're saying there's no one else live streaming? I heard there was another live stream, but I guess this is it on Dunham. They're not jamming this phone, so I don't know what to tell you.
86 will take a line up for hold.
Davian, you're not going to convince me to be mad at the 2 women and the 1 guy for not fighting on fucking armed cops. It's understandable why they would not fight those cops. That's the last time I'm saying that.
The scanner said they trapping y'all in there.
I'm not telling you not to fight a cop. By all means, if you want to go fight cops, homie. Fucking make sure you protect yourself. You go fight every single cop that you see. By no means am I telling you what to do with your life or giving anyone advice of not to fight cops. I'm saying it's understandable why someone would not pick a fight with an armed cop. That person is not a pussy in my eyes for not attacking armed cops. It's understandable.
How are they gonna square us off, bro? I drove in here easily as fuck. These niggas ain't doing that shit. These niggas
please,
ain't.
by all
Here's
means, go fight cops,
right
dude.
here. Damn, they shooting. That's not shooting. That's like, those are firecrackers. These niggas are throwing firecrackers at the same time. This is the police station. They got all these niggas built. Then around here, around the corner, this is like the fucking corner, bro. So like, there's no way. They don't have enough niggas to just surround the whole bitch, okay? I promise to God they don't. They really don't. There's too many of us. They don't have enough.
That's actually 100% true. Cops, the Supreme Court, actually, Kev, that is true. The cops do not have a responsibility to protect you. That's like been ruled by high up courts and shit. And another thing that's kind of terrifying about police when it comes to hiring, there's this guy in Chicago, and like brother was a cop, dad was a cop, family that bleeds blue, and he wanted to be a cop. He tested too high on the intelligence test. They wouldn't let him be a cop. He took it to the higher courts trying to fight it, and they actually ruled that it is okay for police departments to not hire above an average intelligence level. And the police departments argued that they actually targeted people with average to below average IQs, and their reasoning for it was that they were less likely to leave the job over mundane tasks. That's actually true shit. You can look that shit up. The Timothy, no, I didn't even know Timothy did a new video yet. I'll check it out after this.
Fuck 12.
The hostile crowd is to the front of the building. The rear parking lot of the liquor store is relatively clear.
I know it ain't gonna be pretty.
Or correction, the board up people can go to the back of the liquor store.
The scanners, bro, y'all just making up everything on the fucking scanner. Y'all dumb as hell. Shut the fuck up.
3301, did you copy?
Negative, I'm on the phone. Can you repeat?
1103 is reporting the rear of the liquor.
Timothy's claiming he's in Minneapolis. I bet he's just trying to feed off that fucking hashtag. Or not hashtag, but that word in general.
I'll let him know.
It's a female. I know she
Okay,
got
we
kids at
can't
home.
open these doors. They're double barrel box full size of the key.
So 1281 should go with the original plan and port over from the precinct.
Yeah, we got
He
a bunch
said,
of people in the back anyways.
he said, bro, you're definitely gonna get your video taken down. Bro, the video is not supposed to be kept idiot. It's just for you to see. I don't need the video. I need you to see, and you're looking.
Copy. 3301, the original plan, have them come over
Right
call.
now, I don't need the video saved. I'm showing you what's happening.
Meet the officers.
So it's in your mind. I don't need the video to be saved. You're looking, so now it's in your mind. I can cut out live, and you'll be walking around your house saying, "Yeah, bro, they're fucking protesting hard as fucking Minneapolis." See, the goal is accomplished. What the fuck are you talking about? On Dedham.
Like the trucks
My
in the
name is
rear
Derek,
alleyways
bro.
near all the pizza.
I'm a fucking roach in Minneapolis.
I'll
I
check
came
them
up
out.
the pigs in Minneapolis on Dedham.
I'm glad I'm a
These niggas, one of these fucking cops killed one of our people, bro. They had a fucking knee on his neck, bro. The nigga said he could not
1103 to
fucking breathe.
1281. Well, you would need some more officers for a protection detail for the board up guy.
Yeah, probably nice.
That was a fucking joke. We wouldn't be here.
If he comes into the rear, we won't be able to secure it.
They keep bringing me sweaters. They bringing
All
us
these doors in
sweaters.
the back are locked. The walls are off the front.
On Dedham.
Okay, copy. Stand by.
3301, I'll call him back and have him come to us and we'll escort him over.
Just cover your
I think your goggles and shit. No, my goggles are gone, bro.
When they start macing.
My goggles are
This is
gone.
Anderson from
My
Pizza
name
in the
is
back
Terry.
lot. I'm with him right now. I'll
I
let
have
him
the
know.
biggest voice in Minnesota. That's why I'm fucking here, bro. And if I have a fucking
Copy. He's advising board up face to face in the back lot to go back over to the precinct.
This is like one of the first times I've ever left my fucking attic.
What are y'all thinking
Period.
about right now?
They back there straight in the press.
They ready to mace up. Here they come. They finna mace. They finna mace.
1204 to 1281, Sergeant Patel.
You can tell.
Yeah, this actually is police have no duty to protect you. Federal court affirms yet again. That's something that's been going on since like 2002 or 2005, I believe. But then it was reaffirmed in 2018 after the Parkland shooting, because there was like a cop that did not do anything. He like ran and hid, if I remember correct. School Deputy Scott Peterson had no constitutional duty to protect students who were not in custody. The latest decision adds to a growing body of case establishing the government agencies, including police agencies, have no duty to provide protection to citizens in general. Neither the Constitution nor state law impose a general duty upon police officers or other government officials to protect individual persons from harm, even when they know the harm will occur, said Darren L. Hutchinson, a professor and associate dean at the University of Florida School of Law. Police can watch someone attack you, refuse to intervene, and not violate the Constitution. The Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the government has only a duty to protect persons who are in custody, he pointed out. Moreover, even though the state of Florida has compulsory schooling laws, the students themselves are not in custody. Courts have rejected the argument that students are in custody of school officials while they are on campus, Mr. Hutchinson said. Custody is narrowly confined to situations where a person loses his or her freedom to move freely and seek assistance on their own, such as prisons, jails, or mental institutions. And yeah, the U.S. Supreme Courts have backed that. The police literally do not have to protect you. And they've actually went to the lengths of taking it to court to prove that they don't have to protect you, which is kind of fucked up in its own sense alone. But yeah, that is true. The police do not have any kind of obligation to protect you. Oh shit, I didn't mean for that to go back up to the top. Damn it, man. Let's get back down through this shit. Which, Twitter is still going pretty strong. And normally, you can kind of use social media to kind of gauge how pissed off people are. And people are pretty pissed, especially with this really just cracking open today. That's about the only thing saving Minneapolis's ass right now, is that, it's not a weekend. That's about the only good thing, because I mean Fridays, Saturdays, protest areas always get worse, but that's not really much. I mean, that's really the only thing that is kind of saving Minneapolis's ass.
Come here! Come here!
Can somebody help me?
Oh, you okay? Y'all like? Sister, sit down, y'all. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, that's that video again. Man, just look at this. Because before I was just searching George Floyd. I didn't even go to the actual George Floyd hashtag because I knew it was going to be like this. Out of all this scrolling, we're still 1 minute. So you're talking... people are fucking pissed. I'm telling you, you can gauge this shit from social media. We've been scrolling for a minute now. We are 2 minutes back. These are all the tweets, all the latest tweets in the last 2 minutes with the George Floyd hashtag. And now we're finally at 3 minutes. If we're going to re-find that tweet we were watching. I'm going to turn the... Oh, I don't have the police scanner still up. Let's see, I'll try and find it again for a second, but if I can't find that, I'll probably just end this stream. I think we've about gone over everything. We pieced together the actual murder with those videos. Anybody that's watching later, if you go back to the start of this video, after it's like done whatever it does, back at the beginning of the video, I showed everything, the actual video of George Floyd being murdered, the police statement, the videos that directly conflict with the police statement, and so basically the whole thing that's gotten us to this point. And there is videos now, just anybody that doesn't know, there are videos out now that do show he was handcuffed, this whole resisting arrest, which again, even if he was resisting, there is no justification for two officers to hold a man down, restrain a man, while a third officer literally chokes him to death with a knee to his neck. There is no justification for that, resisting arrest or not. All those videos are out there, though, conflicting directly with the police narrative.
Literally still trying to shoot them. They are carrying him. Literally carrying him. No, he trying to go back over there. Come on, man. Nah, let's go. It's time to go. He's still struggling, bro. He's still fucking struggling. That shit is fucking crazy. This shit don't make no sense, bro. They done tear gassed us. They done paintballed us. They done literally shot at us. Like, come on now. This shit, he is still on the ground, bro. He's still on the ground, man.
Yeah, they not them bitches, ain't no help, nigga. They ain't helping.
Somebody on the
They ain't helping us. It's a white man too. He a white man too. You ain't helping him. Hey, bro.
It doesn't matter what race we are.
Y'all want to get him into my car or something?
Hey, bro, let's get him in the truck, bro.
Got shot in the head with a rubber bullet.
Bro,
he got shot in the head.
Gotta get him in the truck. Them bitches ain't no help to us.
Literally he got shot in the head.
Bro, we gotta get him in the truck, nigga.
The fuck just happened? What the fuck? What the fuck? Got shot in the head with that thing.
And yeah, and that sort of shit can lead to some serious shit. That reminds me of like Susie and Standing Rock. Yeah, so overall, I think I'm going to call this live good. If shit like gets worse, I don't know. I'll try and keep an eye tonight on arrest counts and shit like that. A good place, I'll throw this in the comments. George Floyd hashtag on Twitter. That would be one of your best bets to just try and find stuff that's freshly coming out. I just put a link to that in the comments. And again, at the beginning of the video, anybody that missed it, I showed everything there is from the official police statement on what happened, where they call it a medical incident, to George first being detained. This is George being handcuffed. From there, the video was released today from a restaurant on the corner. This Jared Brewington made a post about it. They got the video to the Washington Times. It's been released through the Washington Times, and it shows George being taken from his van to the side building of this restaurant, and then from the side of the restaurant, he's walked across the street where they inevitably murdered George Harrison on the ground there. Which is the video everybody knows. I guess also, yeah, that too, just to make sure that people do see the other perspective. It wasn't just Tao and Derek. It was not just Tao and Derek. I can't stress that enough. There was an officer that had the legs detained or restrained. There was an officer that was on his middle back torso area. And then there was Derek, who was driving his knee into his neck. And then there was Tao that was keeping the the witnesses right there at bay. So yeah, it wasn't just two officers. I don't know. It's just so fucked up. All 4 officers were fired. There have not been any charges pressed yet, which is part of why you're seeing the heavy protests in Minneapolis. That's probably going to continue. That's probably going to get heavier until there's charges pressed. And even then, I'm not sure if I'm not even sure if charging them right now it's going to calm things down. It was murder, though. That was straight up murder. That was literally a filmed murder of a black man in the middle of Minneapolis during the day. That is what it is. There's not really any way to sugarcoat that. So, I don't know. If you ask me, Derek should obviously be charged with murder, and then Tao and the 2 other officers there should 100% be charged with, at the very least, accessories to murder. The 2 officers that were actually helping restrain him, I mean, were obviously just as involved in the fucking murder. I don't know. Bad fucking deal, but pay attention to shit like this. Shit like this is important. I do have a feeling like just with all this... Yeah, I did see you say that the Houston Chronicle said that the officers are fired but on paid administrative leave. I do not know if that's true. I haven't seen that myself. As far as I know, the officers were fired. I could see, because that has happened in the past with this sort of shit, where the officers are given money. I wonder if there's a GoFundMe, actually. I would not be surprised if there wasn't a GoFundMe already. Let's check that real quick before we end this live. Okay, so I am not seeing one yet. I'll keep an eye out for that as well, though. A lot of times, like Amber Geiger, after she shot Botham, she had a GoFundMe that did quite well. And again, even then, I mean, everybody knew what fucking happened there. The police union fucking gathered up the money needed for her bail. That's why she went in and out of jail. That just is what that is. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the same thing that they're trying to do with these 4 or one of these officers. Just get it all set up so they're ready to bail them out. Union's all set up. They go in one door, they walk out the other, which, again, is not going to help this situation. I don't even know. It is weird. The article says they were fired first, then says they were placed on paid administrative leave. I mean, that would literally be the stupidest fucking thing they could do. Is to fucking put them on paid administrative leave. And Jake, unfortunately, I agree. They would reach $500,000 on the GoFundMe. They probably will raise a lot of money for these officers. And there will still, although I will say so far, I haven't seen a whole bunch of the bootlickers and bleed blue people speaking out on this one. Like, for the most part, they're even kind of like, yeah, we're just gonna sit this one out. Like, but there's been a few. They are still out there, and like GoFundMe's and shit is great because they don't actually have to put a face on them, so they'll fucking just donate money and shit. But yeah, the police union is, that's one of the bigger problems. A lot of people don't know that the union is a bigger problem. They don't know about the contracts that the police unions have with their local police departments. It's just information that isn't typically as public, but that's a big problem. That's what's putting a protection over a lot of these officers. Like, they'll put things like emotional distress over being fired for physical engagement and shit like that. Just weird shit to protect the officers, and so that they can civil sue and whatnot. If I mean, like right now, Justin Rapp that shot Andrew Finch in my home city of Wichita. Justin Rapp is fucking suing the city of Wichita. He's suing because he was not put back to work. I think it's 12 days after he shot and killed an unarmed man. It might have even been shorter than that. I got that lawsuit somewhere around here. It might be like 6 to 8 days or some shit. I'm trying to think because I got that lawsuit before I moved here. I'm not sure if I know where that is right now. But yeah, I mean, that's fucking crazy. Rapp was never charged. He shot an unarmed man in 7 seconds from opening up a door. And then not only did he keep his job, but now he's suing the city for not letting him work soon enough. What's my channel name? The YouTube channel name's just Discuss. I don't know if I've like set up my personal URL and shit though. I need to do that. In the description though, there's everything. I mean, you can hit the subscribe button if you want, but there's a link to, I'm more active on Facebook. I'm trying to get more active on YouTube. And I'm actually in the middle of switching over at live streaming software, which tomorrow I'm supposed to get the thing for my camera to switch to that so I can actually have on guests and kind of make a nicer stream all around. So that's why these lives, I really didn't even expect to do a live on this, but I did, like, when I did a fucking article on this, like, man, it was just such bullshit. That's one of the most pissed off I've been in a while. Just watching this shit to put the article together. Like, I don't know. I'll still say this is like Daniel Schaefer's the only video I'd put as worse than this one. This video it's one of the worst police killings that's ever gone public. Just because of everything involved. The fact that you had people sitting there begging, you had another cop protecting it, and it went on for 10 fucking minutes. I mean, his nose started bleeding. The witnesses were saying his nose is bleeding, he's not responding, and these cops did not give one shit. That's fucking crazy. That's super fucking crazy. So, in the description, there's a link to the article that I put together. And like I said, I'll try to keep an eye on arrests and shit. If anything, like, super crazy. I don't know. I'll try and see if I can't connect with some streamers down there and see how they feel about me mirroring their streams. Like on the psychopaths and the frauds and shit, I don't really care about playing their videos back in full because they're trying to scam the public and we're trying to debunk them. When it comes to stuff like this with like people out there risking their ass for their live stream and like you have some pretty serious shit going on out there, tear gas and shit like that, they could get hurt. I would just rather talk to the channel or page owner first and make sure that they're okay with us mirroring their stream, because I can't get out there yet without my new car tags, and luckily we still have this COVID-19 shit, so I can't get my new car tags yet, but hopefully all of that's being figured out. I don't know. So it's fun stuff. Chances are this will go on long enough, though, that you'll see a stream from me out there. I don't see this dying down anytime soon, especially if they keep on basically antagonizing the public, which I get it, the public are protesting. So I don't know, but I'm sure that I'll make my way out there sometime in the near future with the new camera and shit too. So I will do my best to keep on top of this. Hopefully tomorrow I can put out something saying that these guys were charged. I am not exactly counting on that, but hopefully tomorrow there is news that these officers have been charged for murder and for their role in the murder. I don't even know. Man, golden police unions, that's something that's been on my list for the last little while. To be honest, I was even ignorant of them until just a little bit ago. And like it, no, autopsy has not been released yet. But yeah, no, it's just the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years that I started to even really learn about the police union presence and what exactly they're capable of and what they protect. So yeah, that's definitely been on my list with some of these things. There's still things with the Justin Rapp shooting that I can't even talk about yet because I don't want to fuck up their civil cases that they got going on. But I know some shit that I have not said yet publicly about that. Even when Netflix came and sat me down to do the shit for the documentary on the Andrew Finch shooting, I unfortunately couldn't even include some of that information for them. They were told, or they did tell me that if by some chance something happens with the civil case where I can move forward a little bit more before the documentary comes out, to give them a call and we can try and get it in there. But yeah, at the time being, it's just a moment of silence, but it has to do with like the police union and internal investigations, how they handle things like this. Yeah, but it just, you know, sometimes it is a waiting game, unfortunately. But I do appreciate everyone watching. For the last time, everything is at the beginning of the video for any of the late watchers. Again, it's graphic. We did watch the whole original video of the actual murder, and it is a murder. You'll never hear me call this anything but a murder. Like Officer Derek Chauvin and the other 3 officers 100% murdered this man. But all of the video stuff is at the beginning, so you can check all that out for yourself. I appreciate you guys, and again, hopefully there's some good news tomorrow. Hopefully there's news of arrests and charges, and I don't think it'll calm anything in Minneapolis, but hopefully it happens. So I'll try and keep